So I was without internet, and look at me. I live on the internet. I can't be without internet for a week.
You're on it right now as we speak.
Exactly. So what I did was I got one of these like cellular internet things, which I don't want to go too far into it, but like it kind of stinks.
Uh-huh.
But
it's like a hotspot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it works like it worked well enough that I could like, watch Netflix with like some interruptions, but like check my email and get on and like do enough stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, all right, it's fine for a week. It'll cost like $40 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the cable installed, so I get the internet installed yesterday. So I called cancel
the other service.
Uh-huh. And I've done this before where I've like used this service to bridge.
Uh-huh.
And then I've canceled it. And I know it's kind of like tough to cancel
anything. Yeah,
like you can't do it online, so you have to call. And like it's a call center, and people always hate when it's like a foreign call center, right? I don't care. Do you ever care?
No, I don't care.
People are like, "Oh, I just want to fix my computer, and I got to call India." It's ridiculous. And it's like
it's not a long distance phone call.
Yeah, it's an 800 number, fella, and it's like, and they're reading from a script.
Yeah,
so it's not like, "Oh, I got to put up with somebody with an accent." Go to hell. All right, fine. People have accents, you jerks.
Yeah, you have an accent.
Yeah, you say
you don't even know it.
When it's an apartment.
Right.
Creep. And so I call up, and I've been through it because they try to like convince you not to.
Right.
And this is how I got a better price. It was like $40. Originally it was $54. And then they're like, I was like, never mind. I'm not going to sign up. And they were like, all right, what about $40? Right. And that's how I got that price. So I do the same thing. But I always feel like these poor customer service representatives are being like so wide. And poor, I mean like not like financially poor.
Right.
I mean like
downtrodden.
Like no, not even downtrodden. Like I just don't. I feel like they have a job where somebody's all on their ass at all times.
Oh yeah,
like,
they gotta hit a goal.
Yeah, and if it's not somebody yelling at you from the consumer end, it's the other person. It's your boss, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, if I go call and cancel, they're gonna offer me better deals and better deals. And if I don't take any of these deals, which I'm not gonna take because I have better service, like I don't want that to reflect poorly on the person that is. It's like, and this is going to take forever. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to... for some reason, I was like, I don't want to make this company, this corporation, feel like their product is inferior.
Right.
And also, I don't want to get this representative in trouble. So, like, I'll just call up and be like, I don't need internet anymore. That way, when they offer me better and better prices, I'll be like, wow, that's a great price for a great service. However... I don't need internet anymore.
I'm going Walden.
Right. So they're like, oh, okay. I was like, I'd like to cancel my service. And they're like, I'm sorry, what's the reason for, can I ask what the reason is? And I was like, I'd prefer not to say. And they're like, well, can you go into greater detail about that? Can you elaborate on that? Is what the guy said. Reading from a script.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, yeah, I just don't need internet service anymore. Okay, and like obviously this is not something that he can just check off on a box,
right?
And it's
Nobody
being recorded, and it's like, all right, yeah. So he's like, can you elaborate on that? I was like, yeah, I won't be using the internet anymore because I know if I say I'm getting cable, he'll be like, but ours has no data caps. Cable has. It's like, all right, yeah, I know all this stuff, but so. Can you elaborate on that? And I was like, I'm just not going to have internet anymore. And then he's ready for me. He's like, well, I see that you've used, in the last 4 days, 16 gigabytes of blah, blah, blah. It seems that you rely on the internet for a lot of things. How do you plan on... you're going completely without internet. You realize this is a huge lifestyle change. Why don't we give this to you now for $25 and then you can keep it? And I was like, no, I don't want internet service anymore. He's like, can you elaborate on that, please? I was like, really? He's like, yes. I was like, I just don't want your service. Please cancel. And now I'm getting mad, but then I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get this guy in trouble because now I'm yelling.
Yeah.
So he's like, can you please elaborate on that? And so like I'm thinking, well, I don't want to say I'm moving because if I'm moving, they're gonna ask me for my new address and tell me that the cellular service there is gonna be, and I haven't moved.
Right.
You know, this is the other thing. I don't have a dummy address to give them, and they'll type that in and be like, either like, oh, that is not a residential area, you're not moving there, or like, or they'll be like, oh, lucky for you, the coverage is better, it's going to be better. You know, like...
Or they'll send a man to your house.
Yeah, it's going to open this whole other web of lies. You know, it's going to open me up to, like, all these other lines of questions. So I'm thinking, I'm like, all right. It's like, can you please elaborate on that? I was like, I'm going to prison.
Really?
Yeah, and he's like, can you please elaborate on that? It's like, really? I'm being incarcerated for
a crime.
Yeah, he's like, okay, sir. Can you please elaborate on that? Because like, I think he's told to ask that until somebody says something that's on the list of like moving, and then you click that box. It's like, where are you moving to? Or like, I'm getting cable, and you click on that, and you go down that. But like, so he's like, can you please elaborate on that? It's like, I've committed a horrible crime, and they caught me.
And I did it.
And that now they're sending me away.
They have me dead to rights.
And he's like, can you please elaborate on that? And like, at this point, I'm like, I murdered a man in cold blood. There was no reason for it, but they caught me. The detectives, they did their jobs. They found all the clues, and they brought me in.
I found the clues I had left.
A court of law, and they convicted me, and rightly so. I am going to jail for a very long time because I committed a heinous crime. And he goes, can you please elaborate on that? And I was like, I don't think I'll ever see my family again. They're very upset.
Well, what he was looking for was, have you talked to the warden and asked him if you can bring our mobile hotspot into
I know, but I think if this is ever, like, yeah, I haven't talked to the warden. I wouldn't even be on good terms with the warden. If I were going to prison for the rest of my life, it'd be like, all right, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to build a rapport with the warden before I ask about bringing in a mobile hotspot.
Right.
And it just wouldn't be... it wouldn't be the right move financially for me to keep the service active this whole time while I'm building the rapport over months, possibly years with the warden.
Yeah, and you probably can't pay for the service in like packs of cigarettes or anything.
No,
either.
They do allow that.
They do.
Yeah, because yeah. But finally, I was like, no, I'm just getting cable service. Can you please just cancel it? And then I stopped caring about whether the guy was going to get a bad review on me or whatever. Because, like, even though it wasn't true that I murdered somebody in cold blood and was convicted of murder and was going to prison for the rest of my life, like, I felt like, you know what? It's none of your business. Quit prying. Like, this is my life you're talking about, sir.
He's already prying, looking at how much internet you use.
Yeah, that's where he crossed the line. But then it was just like...
He's like, sir, you certainly do not seem like somebody who can function in society without the internet, according to our usage logs. You were on this a lot.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's like, I was expecting him to be like, well, how are you going to live without this pornography that you've been viewing?
Sir, we're looking at the files you've been downloading, and no, you rely on the internet.
Ugh.